Welcome everyone. I go by the name of Camilio Salamander and my co-host KB the Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
And you are watching the featured #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the DB podcast. So tonight we're gonna talk about the Raw Go Home show. Well, not the Go Home show, the Raw After Mania show. So first we got Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley, the Almighty. Now, with this match, I mean, it's very predictable. Like I said so many times, we've seen it so many times before. This is another match that WWE is shoving down our throats by repeating it week after week. It may not happen within the last couple of weeks, but it happened. And it's a match that we've seen already so many times. But long story short, you know, it ends like it always ends. Any Bobby Lashley match, you know, can't nobody compete with the Almighty. You know, hurt, lock, sleep, repeat. Hurt, lock, sleep, repeat. Put that on the t-shirt.
I like that saying. Hurt, lock, sleep, repeat. I like that. This match was bad. This show was bad. This was a 10-minute squash match. I heard from listening to different podcasters that I believe it was Brian Alvarez who said that Bobby Lashley took 98% of the match. And I agree, because Matt Riddle had no type of offense. What's the point? You know why squash matches work? Because they're not long and they're used to get over the guy who you want to get over. What does a 10-minute squash match do? It does nothing. I mean, we already know how great Bobby Lashley is. It just makes us look at it and be like, he probably could have ended him sooner. Man. He probably was just toying with him for real. But come on now. Like, why do I want to watch a 10-minute squash match? Do you want to watch a 10-minute squash match?
No.
I don't either.
Oh, yeah. It didn't have to go that long. But I get why it was 10 minutes because, you know, it's Matt Riddle. You know, they don't want to put him in like a 20-second match or a match less than 2 minutes. But like I said, that's a match that they gave us so many times before. You could have put somebody else in that position, you know, just give somebody TV time or whatever. If it's gonna be a squash match at the end of the day, you could have put somebody else on it. I mean, there's so many people y'all not using right now.
That is true. Like Grand Metalik and just the 24/7 jobbers who be chasing around R-Truth. Right. I will give Raw and WWE credit for this. How often has this show started and it's a 10-minute promo with Drew McIntyre? How many times? They broke away and they gave you a match. I'm going to give them somewhat of credit even on this horrible show.
Yeah, they tried to switch it up by giving us a match, but they gave us the same match. Yeah. But next we got the Viking Raiders versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Now with this, I'm glad to see that the Viking Raiders are back. But I don't like that Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander is losing. Like I figure if they are not gonna be a part of the Hurt Business anymore, at least still have them as a dominant tag, you know? That way it's like you still got your way up there, you know. It's not BS, because it's like, you know, if you're not with Bobby, you know, you just losing. It's like y'all dropping out now. It's like y'all only moment that y'all was winning was when y'all was with the Almighty. Now that y'all kicked out the group, y'all on the losing streak. It just make y'all look more weak, and it's kind of hurting. My opinion, that make the Hurt Business look bad too, because like y'all used to represent them. Now y'all going on these losing streaks and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. That just, and to me, making it seem like it's making it look bad, because of the simple fact is, you know, like not like just 3 weeks ago you was a part of the Hurt Business and y'all was whooping ass. Now y'all losing, getting y'all ass kicked to the same people that y'all was whooping. But at the end of the day, it's the Viking Raiders. They're gonna whoop ass anyway.
I hated this match. I think the Viking Raiders are overhyped. They are boring to me. And Cedric Alexander, they're boring. They don't impress me. What, am I supposed to be impressed because this guy can lift with the help of his partner up into a body slam? Is that supposed to impress me? The fact that he can carry him? That doesn't impress me. I expect you to do that. You're wrestlers. Like, they bore me. They don't impress me. And the fact that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin had to endure this because of a returning Viking Raiders, I don't think it makes the Hurt Business look bad. It just goes to show you what they really thought of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. And that's disrespectful because Shelton has been doing this for far too long to be getting jobbed out like this. And then what make it worse is, like, you try to say, yeah, they got a little bit of offense in, but no, they were jobbed out because you brought back the Viking Raiders. Mind you, the same Viking Raiders who was doing comedy acts with the Street Profits.
Right.
You know, the guys with the red solo cups that you are to insinuate that there's alcohol in there. But we know darn well that that's not what's in there. And it just so happens that they're black. I find something very wrong with that gimmick.
Kind of stereotypical.
Yeah, and I can't stand it. Look, the Viking Raiders won. I don't really care. It was a bad match. I am happy for Ivar to be back. The tag team division definitely needs another tag team. But this match was bad. And unfortunately, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin were jobbed out.
So we got our first return of the night. Charlotte Flair. She came out and cut a promo. And she basically was saying how, you know, she was originally in the match for the Raw's Women's Championship, but you know, the only reason why Rhea Ripley won was because she got pulled out. Now, if she gonna come back, my only thing with this whole feud, right? If she was gonna come back, the Raw after Mania, why y'all just didn't put her on Mania? Like, what was the point and everything? It was like, and then it kind of twines into later on through the night in their match, and they went ahead and put the Raw Women's Championship on the line. And it ended with Charlotte running in, so that's gonna set up a triple threat anyway. But it was like, if that's all y'all was gonna do, why y'all just didn't build up towards that and gave it to us on Sunday? I mean, it was only a day apart. I mean, she literally came in the day after. So I'm pretty sure if she had COVID, she'd been cleared. So it's like, you might as well, I mean, you could have built that or whatever. I mean, it just don't make sense now. I don't want to see Charlotte in the championship anymore. I don't want to see her as champion. She had it so many times. This is like in the early 2000s, Triple H, like, you know, you really didn't have nobody if they're doing a time like this in the women's division, you ain't got nobody to really put the belt on, give it to Charlotte. That's how it was in the early 2000s. You really ain't got nobody to put the belt on, give it to Triple H. That's how it was, and I don't want to see that. There's just so many more people you can really push and build up towards. Give these people the time. Give these women a time on TV and actually let them build and tell the story. I mean, we see them doing it NXT. I mean, NXT got more women screen times and more women promos and all that stuff than the main roster do. I don't see how basically the development show is doing better than the main shows and booking wise, in my opinion. But
well, you know, that's because Hunter's down there and Shawn Michaels, and they understand that you don't always have to follow the WWE principle. You know, NXT is just an indie show, and WWE, WWE's version of an indie show. But oh my gosh, I love Charlotte Flair. I love the Queen, but I hated this promo. If you've heard one heel Charlotte promo, you've heard them all. And honestly, Charlotte, you caught COVID, so they went with Plan C. It's not like you weren't allowed. You just caught COVID, and they didn't want to take a chance with you not showing up to WrestleMania, so they went with Plan C. It's okay. And to be quite honest, you stole Rhea Ripley's moment last year, so let her get her moment. And that's the reason why I believe they didn't make it a triple threat match, because I believe Charlotte's going to win the Raw Women's title. And that's the sad part about it. Rhea Ripley is going to hold this belt for a month and a week. And she's going to lose it to Charlotte Flair. And I guarantee
where's she going to lose it to Charlotte Flair at?
WrestleMania Backlash.
Which is stupid. I don't understand why they are putting WrestleMania in the title of everything. Why? Why not just leave it how it was? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I mean, it works for Backlash. I like the title look.
I don't think so.
It's the fallout from WrestleMania. WrestleMania Backlash.
If you really give it the payback, it should bring back Payback and put that as the pay-per-view after Mania, because that actually make more sense. You know, you get the WrestleMania, then the next pay-per-view will be Payback. So then that's when you could do basically the WrestleMania rematches and stuff, because it fits within the paper line with the title instead of calling it WrestleMania Backlash. I mean, how long we've been knowing it as Backlash, so then you just slapping WrestleMania on top of it. For the old school fans, it's just making it like, why?
When I hear Payback, what comes to mind is I need every title that switched hands is going back, because I think of revenge. You know, Payback, revenge.
Yeah,
that's what I think. So I don't like that. But WrestleMania Backlash is, you know, it's just the fallout. It's the next pay-per-view, the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania. It's the WrestleMania fallout. I don't think it's going to be good, especially if they're going to be putting this belt on Charlotte Flair, because I don't believe Charlotte Flair needs another title run.
Yeah, she don't.
No, I honestly get tired of Charlotte Flair, and I love the Queen. But when she's feuded with everybody, and I know for a fact you're going to give it to her because of her last name, why should I care?
Right.
It makes no sense. This promo was bad. Charlotte and later on in the night was bad. WWE needs to do something with Charlotte. And I don't know what it is, but they got to do something. Like, because this isn't like regular heel heat. This is go away heat. Like, we don't want you here. None of the fans want you here. And WWE thinks like, oh, this is great heel heat. She's getting great heel heat. No, she's getting go away heat. Like, we don't want her here. Nobody wants her here. And WWE just has to be okay with that. But they won't be, because she's a Flair. And then for her to say that she, for the women in the back who think she's taking opportunities, yes, you've taken multiple opportunities. You had a chance to put over Rhea Ripley last year and make her a star. You didn't.
She didn't. She had no reason to even win the NXT title anymore. Out of everybody, she didn't even need to go to NXT. Like, she went to NXT. She should have went down there to put over motherfuckers, not take the opportunity away, because that's literally what she did.
Bro,
like, that's literally what she did. Like,
it was the AEW effect. They thought Charlotte was gonna pull ratings. Like, no, Charlotte is not a ratings draw.
Yeah. So you better off putting Sasha back in NXT.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're gonna put like a Sasha, put an Asuka, that's a ratings draw for NXT. Yeah. Charlotte's not a ratings draw. We're sick of her. Get her off my screen, please.
Like, I think she at the point in her career where she need to be having feuds with people, but putting them over. Then, like, will she do this for, like, I say for like a year, maybe two? Like, she ain't gotta lose every feud, but for like a year or two. Then after that, you can go ahead and put her back in the title scene, because then she did her dues. By this time, if she do it for 2 years, there's been so many other women wrestlers that already made a name for themselves. So then when you put her back in the picture, you got more people, and you can build more high profile matches and stuff too. Especially that's what they need to be doing, instead of giving us the same match, instead of giving us Bayley and Charlotte, Bayley and Sasha, and then now you about to entwine what's her name? I forgot. But Bianca Belair and she's pregnant right now. I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think. Lacey Evans. When she come back, they're gonna they'll be the two additional wrestlers that's entwined with the repeated women wrestlers that we see every week. It just don't be them two new faces though. But during them times, you can go ahead and put other women wrestlers over, build them up. I mean, you got vets technically now. You know, the four horsewomen, they vets technically. So, shit, Sasha, she did her job. She put over Bianca Belair. You know, Bailey, I would say she a vet too, but shit, she got put over when she finally won the SmackDown Women's Champion and turned heel and everything like that. So that was her getting put over. But it's time for them to start putting over more women wrestlers and get like refreshing the whole women roster and everything. We need new faces. I don't want to keep seeing, you know, like even like within like it from like 2016 to like now, it was the same faces becoming champion. Bailey, Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Alexa. That's who the belt, and Nia Jax here and there. But minus Ronda Rousey. But that's who the belts really flip back and forth off of. It's like, you know, that's five wrestlers I named. You need more people than that. I mean, if you take 5 wrestlers on the main roster and them the 5 people you keep rotating these titles with, that's gonna get boring. And you know they ain't gonna dare do that to the main roster, to the main event and all that stuff, because they know they're gonna get the horrible backlash from it. But they try it with the females wrestlers, and I don't get it. Why? I mean, y'all built up, like they had a whole campaign going on. They even gave them their own pay-per-view. And it's like, after that, it was like, all right, I gave y'all what y'all want. Now y'all about to go back to doing what I've been doing and everything. So it's like, I got what y'all want here. Y'all want the women's titles here. Like, you know how people keep asking you, like, you got Skittles, and people keep asking you, I mean, here, dang. It's like that. But you give them one Skittle. That's like they literally gave these women wrestlers one Skittle just so they can get their face. But they still doing the same thing. It's 2021. Other promotions, it's promoting their women wrestlers better than WWE's doing. I mean, shit, NXT's doing it. They under the same umbrella. That's just really it. I mean, they just really need to give these women a chance, for real.
I agree. Couldn't have said it better myself.
But one thing, at least on the women's side, I can really like look forward to every Monday is the Alexa Bliss. So after what we talked about yesterday with the Night 2 WrestleMania, you kind of opened my eyes more to that feud, because at first I was confused about it. But now, you know, after what you said, I'm thinking now. And then when I watched this promo on you, I was glued. So I was really trying to pay attention to it. So I kind of do like it. I kind of see something going on and something different that's going to happen. Because even Bray Wyatt said that he felt reborn, you know? So I feel like there's going to be a new Fiend coming, but this Fiend going to be more dominant and more dangerous. He gonna be like the Fiend times 2.
I agree. Did you see the Nia Jax promo?
Yeah, you know, they say witches be tripping. That's funny.
It was funny, bro, but it was so goofy and so stupid. It's like she sends Shayna Baszler away only to get beat up by Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. And then the tag match itself was stupid. Like Nia Nia shoots, slips off the ropes, and then the baby faces leave. Like, and then I know what they're trying to say. Well, you know, that was better than getting the win. No, that's not better than getting the win. What would have been better is if you got I'm trying not to swear. It would have been better if you got the fucking win. Why the fuck would you leave? For what reason? Oh, she slipped and fell off the ropes. Now you see how mad she is. So you're like, yeah, we're gonna retreat. Why do I want? Why? Do you? Is that how you want your baby face to react?
No.
You want them to go in there and fight, right?
Yeah, they should have whooped her ass. Period.
Right. Or went down trying.
That's why I'll be talking about with these women's segments and stuff. They just give them like whatever. It's like whoever writing this stuff, it's like they literally getting it from like, I don't know. They probably got like an 8-year-old writing this. Like, like all the women's segments, y'all write it or whatever. It's like it's BS. Cause it's like, why are we getting? Because if I'm guaranteed, you watch NXT, these women are dominant, man. These women is having better matches than the men. But if you watch Raw, SmackDown, besides a certain few, I would say on SmackDown, they doing they treat Bianca Belair right. So I don't got nothing bad to say about that. But if you watch Raw, SmackDown, like that tag division, and anybody else who's not in the mainstream, they are booking them wrong and booking them to like for some bullshit, Like why? Like at this point now, after watching Raw yesterday, I'm thinking, why should I even care for any women's segment that comes on, especially dealing with the women's tag team championships? Cause now y'all show me y'all don't give a fuck about this shit, and this is y'all belt. Not talk about Nia Jackson. I'm talking about WWE. Y'all show me this. Y'all created this belt, and y'all show me y'all don't care about it. So why should I, as the watcher, care about it? I just think it's like, especially like I say this. So I said it before. You produce a 3-hour show, make the 3-hour show entertaining. Don't give me no reason to click off your show. You give me a reason to click off your show, I'm gonna tune into somebody else. That's gonna give me what I've been asking for. That's really it. But it's like and then if it's not them messing over the female roster and giving us BS segments like this, they're giving us the same matches over and over with the same males.
I'm convinced that WWE does not know how to authentically, when something authentic happens, they don't know how to build upon it, and then they shove it down our throats. Like Titus, when Titus, slid in the Greatest Royal Rumble, it was funny. You started shoving it down our throats.
Yeah, so
Nia Jax, when she failed and she was talking about my hole, that's funny. You shoved it down our throats. Mandy Rose slipping. Now you got to show it again and shove it down our throats. That's the beauty. She fell during WrestleMania. It was an authentically funny moment. Yet you're shoving it in our faces and using it as a storyline.
Yeah, see?
Like, that's stupid. It was authentically funny due to the conditions. It was wet on the ramp. She fell. It's funny. But you don't have to use it as a storyline. It just goes to show you how lazy the writing is. And I thought it was lazy. But dear God, this Raw after Mania, this was crazy. This took laziness to a whole new level. From the returns to the matches to the promos, everything about this show was bad.
So next we got the New Day versus Elias Jackson Riker. Is Elias Jackson Riker a team? I guess they wrote with Shane McMahon, but I mean, are they attacked now?
I thought he should be fired.
Phil Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah.
He should be fired. Here's my problem with this. They get out here. The New Day get out here. And they make fun of Elias and Jackson Riker for them getting beat up by a big guy. 2-on-1. Saying you brought shame upon the tag division. If my memory serves me correctly, on night one, you guys tried your best to keep AJ Styles in the ring against Omos. With Omos outside. But as soon as Omos came in the ring, it was a whole different story. You guys basically got beat 2-on-1. AJ Styles got very little offense in. You guys did the same thing. So what are you talking about? This was bad even for the New Day.
My question is, where's my tag team champions at?
They don't even need to show up. That's the beauty of AJ Styles and Omos.
But you would think that would show up at least and cut a promo or something. That's what I mean. Like, now I just hope they don't do AJ and Omos like they did Asuka. Just have them as champion and then just not have them on TV. Like Asuka, she had that belt 230 days. I didn't even know she had it that long. She ain't been on TV like that. And if she
I
did, it'd be
mean,
on some. It's like BS segments or something just to show her on TV.
I mean, they're the heel team though. They don't need to be on TV every week.
I would like to see. I mean, I would like to see them. I just
mean,
like to see them like cut a
course.
promo, or something at least a Raw after Mania. I expecting them to be there, at least to cut a little promo or whatever, like something.
I mean, I understand why you say that, and I see where you're coming from, but I don't need them on my screen, and I really didn't need to see them the Raw after Mania. Like, I'm okay with them not being there. What I'm not okay with is my United States champion being on Raw Talk and not on the main show.
Yeah, he could have cut a promo or something.
You could have instead of squashing Matt Riddle, you could have did exactly what you did with the Raw Women's Championship match and had a WrestleMania rematch for the United States Championship.
Yeah. Or have him just go out and do an open challenge.
Well, that's a babyface thing to do.
Oh yeah. All right, so we got the main event. We got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Braun Strowman, and the winner of this will be the number one contender for Bobby Lashley title, right? So with this, I don't even understand why Drew McIntyre is even in it. To me, I mean, I can understand, give him another shot, but storyline, to me, I think storyline wise, you talk all that mess. You talk all that mess before the show. You talk all that mess when y'all was backstage, just to go out there and get put to sleep. No matter if you look strong or not, because you didn't tap, but it's the simple fact is you was running your mouth and you got put to sleep. So to me, I think you should have really gave somebody, like, I can see why Randy Orton and Braun Strowman, they won that matches, right? So I see why they there. But Drew, you lost. They had other matches at WrestleMania. You had a WWE title match and you lost. So your opportunity is done. You gotta you back. If it's a list 1 through 7, you back at 7. You gotta fight your way back up there because you was there for a minute. You was champion, you lost, you stood at number 1. And even when the Miz was champion and when Bobby Lashley was champion, you was still at number 1. You was still next in line. You lost. You got put to sleep. You go all the way back down. You don't come back right back up and get another chance. No, there's other people that's below you that deserve that opportunity and everything. There's people who have matches at WrestleMania that actually did good and actually won that match that deserve to be there, other than you. I just don't think he should be in there. I mean, there's other people you can really push, but Drew McIntyre, no. I'm over this Drew McIntyre thing already. I mean, leading up to WrestleMania, everything was cool, but it's like, this Raw after Mania show didn't do it for me. And it's like, I really thought it was the end of the feud, especially when he got put to sleep. I mean, that's a perfect way to end it. You talk shit, you got put to sleep. Period. It's ended. Go about your business now. I ain't got nothing else to prove. The Almighty ain't got nothing to prove to Drew McIntyre no more. He ain't got nothing to prove to him.
I told you this on the last episode we did. I pray to goodness that they had a direction for Drew McIntyre because I didn't want to see him in the main event. And WWE has proven to be lazy. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to beat Bobby Lashley.
I mean, it's like you only got 1 or 2 options at this point. He either beat Bobby Lashley at Backlash, which defeats the purpose of why he even won that WrestleMania, or Drew lose, and then his whole build up, just crumble. I mean, really, it's just y'all booking yourself into a corner. You booking yourself into a corner because if he says he won, he gonna go into WrestleMania Backlash, and then beat Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby Lashley, his build up gonna crumble. So all this hard work and all this stuff that y'all been trying to do, y'all promised this man when he came back. He said he wanted the Brock Lesnar match. Y'all promised this man that's the whole reason why he came back. And if y'all ain't gonna give him the Brock Lesnar match, at least give him this shit. Why can't Roman held the belt for a year on SmackDown, and then we have another dominant champion on Raw? Why can't we get them both? I mean, shit.
Yeah, they really have booked themselves into a corner. Because either way, you're going to destroy somebody's credibility.
Yeah,
Either Bobby loses, and now you've made the Hurt Lock, you've made Bobby Lashley, and everything else look stupid. Because if that was the case, he should have just lost at WrestleMania. Or Bobby, I'm sorry, or who did I say first? Bobby?
yeah,
Okay. So Bobby wins, then you destroy Drew McIntyre and everything that you built for a year and a half. You've literally built yourself into a corner. You're going to destroy one of these two.
yeah.
And you can't give me a DQ finish. Because then you destroyed them both.
The only thing I could say that could possibly save this feud, and if they're gonna do it, they can do it later on. So, you know, at the end of the match, Drew won. You know, he got ambushed by what's her name?
Retribution.
Yeah, the ex-Retribution. I can't think of the independent people, but the
T-Bar Mace.
Yeah, them. So he got ambushed by them, right? So I would think the only thing that can really save this feud if they work some type of angle where, like, you know, he get hurt. You know, they beat Drew, and you know that he get hurt and take him out for TV for a while, and that way, you know, you can still have Bobby do his thing or whatever, and then you can build this match back up where he come back for like close to SummerSlam type stuff. Then I can see it happen then. But if y'all just gonna build it up and have him win at Backlash, no, y'all just defeating the whole purpose. At this point, I would want Bobby to lead WWE because there ain't no point for you to be there no more. Like, what was the point? I mean, they dropped the ball your first run, and if they do this, they drop the ball in the second run too. I mean, there's no reason why, man, you being booked as dominant. I mean, shit. And it's like he's the Brock Lesnar that we all wanted. You know, he's here every week.
True.
That's one.
Yeah, man. Like, I agree. That has to be the direction in which you go, because if that's not the direction, and you really go through with this match, you're going to anger the fan base. Because you're going to anger the fan base no matter which direction you go. You, like I said, you make Bobby win, you're gonna destroy Drew, and then we're going to be like, well, what was the point? You give it to Drew, then we're going to be like, well, what was the point of Bobby winning at WrestleMania? You've really booked yourself into a corner. You have to write Drew McIntyre off TV. You have to, because that's the only thing that's going to make the match even credible at this point. And it can't be, oh, he's off TV. Oh my gosh, Drew McIntyre's coming back a week before Backlash or the week of Backlash. And like, no, he needs to be written off TV for an extensive period of time. He
either need to be out until SummerSlam, or they say forget it and have him come back at the Royal Rumble, not win it, but at least be Final Four. That way, whoever win it will be a SmackDown character, and they challenge for that belt, and then that way it get him the opportunity to challenge Bobby again, and then actually get his revenge at WrestleMania. Either way, either you build up to SummerSlam, have him return to SummerSlam, then do the match, or not at SummerSlam, but have him return to the build up to SummerSlam, then the new match, or have him return at the Royal Rumble and build up to WrestleMania again and give us, you know, part 2.
Yeah, you got to do something, man. You got to do something. I don't want to see Drew in the main event. I don't want to see Drew in the main event for a while. And yeah, he can't. This match can't go on. Yeah. And if it does, and that's the problem, because knowing WWE, they'll make it go on. Now you had a way out writing him off TV. Now they're not going to write him off TV, and they're going to do the match at Backlash, and you're going to destroy one of your main stars' credibility. These aren't the 24/7 jobbers. These are your two main guys. This is your top babyface and your top heel.
Right.
You're going to destroy one of them.
So KB, you had to rate the show. What would you give it?
A 0.
See, I was going to be generous and give it a 2 out of 10.
No, I'm not being generous. This show was god awful.
Yeah, it was horrible. Awful. It was horrible. But But my next topic would be, the match of the night. Me, I don't got no match of the night. I would say if I have to pick, I would say Asuka and Rhea Ripley, only before Charlotte came in, and only because that part was better than the WrestleMania match before the interference. But I mean, other than that, so far, ain't no match of the night.
I'm going to give it to the triple threat match only for the ending angle at the end, but nothing on the show was good. And even that ending angle with T-Bar and Mace, that was bad as well.
Your wrestler tonight?
I don't have one.
Me neither.
Everybody was bad. Yeah. Everybody was bad. Nobody.
Well, I take that back. I gotta give it to the Almighty. Yeah, he still looks strong no matter what. I mean, he came in and did what he did. He put Matt Riddle to sleep. So, if we have to put something on it, then I would give it to the Almighty as well. Yeah.
The match did nothing for me. The Almighty is the Almighty. I expect the Almighty to put Matt Riddle to sleep.
Yeah, the Almighty. You've been my wrestler of the night for 3 weeks straight. That lets you know the type of booking WWE be doing.
You always want to keep your world champion good, but
yeah,
you can do something better than this.
Yeah, it's just the angle. This angle that they booking themselves into is they book themselves into to the wall right now.
Yeah.
WWE, please do better.
Please do.
Hopefully, the SmackDown show is way better than this. Because this was horrible. This was one of the worst, if not the worst, Raw after Mania show ever in history.
A lot of people have been saying that, bro, but SmackDown will always be better because my tribal chief is on the show.
SmackDown, in my opinion, SmackDown always been better than Raw. Me personally, ever since I started watching wrestling, I was always a SmackDown fan, and mainly because SmackDown came on free TV. And you had to have cable to watch Raw, so I was always a SmackDown fan anyway. But even to this day, SmackDown still produce better shows than Raw. With 2 hours on the line, they got 3 hours and they can't do. I don't understand. You got 3 hours versus 2 hours. How in 2 hours they able to get all they storylines across, then some? But in 3 hours, you can barely give us the shit that we need. These female segments and shit is still 15 seconds long. All together they be 2 minutes of the show. I don't know. It's horrible. I don't know who they got writing for them. I don't know if they really be having a show and the show really be good, and Vinny might just be like, we taking this out, and we're gonna put this in 2 hours before the show starts. At 6 o'clock, I don't know if they doing that, or I don't know, around 6 o'clock p.m., they writing the script all right, the script done. And they run about everybody all right, this is what you gonna do, this is what you gonna do, and I don't know. It's either or. Either they taking stuff out, they got a good show already done, and then they taking stuff out to give us the BS that we be seeing, or they really coming up with these scripts on the same day.
I wouldn't be surprised if they was writing that shit on the fly.
It seems like they do.
Yeah,
it seems like they writing it as they go. You in a gorilla position. They all right, this is what you gonna do. This. We just got done writing this.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. This shit's bad, and this Raw after Mania was god awful. 3 hours never went by so slow.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I tuned off after 9 o'clock. Then I clicked back in. But for the most, I tuned off for at least 20 minutes. But I clicked back in because I gotta watch it. It's my job. I gotta watch the show. But it was that bad that I was like, you know what? I don't want to watch it.
Bad show.
But all right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the D&B podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.